Welcome back. In this tutorial we are going to cover the cylinder freeform, and we have an option here for capped. So this is pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and let's place a cylinder. Let's change our height to 6, and we can see that when the capped option is selected we have a cylindrical-ish kind of a body. It's rounded off. But we have a top and a bottom. When we uncheck capped, we see that we go to a straight cylinder. So if your design calls for a straight cylinder, you can add that. So right now, faces, there's 4 about the radius, so we can change that to, let's say, 18. And let's make this over our height. Let's do 12. So we've got a whole lot of points here. And then if we leave capped on, by the way, and we come and hit OK, and then finish our form, our solid is going to have these kind of spider web looking triangular wedges in here, for lack of a proper geometric term. But we can delete those faces, but it's going to delete them as they're drawn here with shaded with edges turned on in my visual style. And so something to think about that is going to drive how you do this, and that is if you need this to be hollow or not. You could always shell it and then make a cut. So if we went in here, made a shell, let's call that, I don't know, 20 thousandths, and then we hit OK. Now we have a shelled out solid that we can now sketch on the top, which is not planar. So we'll make a plane off of our XZ, and then we're going to go 6. And then we can sketch on that. We can project any of this geometry. So let's say we want a circle that has a center point here and the radius there. And now we can finish this and then extrude that as a cut. And then we can see inside of our shelled object. So that's one. Well, that's interesting. So this actually has a little bit of a crown to it. So my work plane here would need to be set to, say, like 6.1. And then that should get rid of that. All right, cool. So a little unplanned impromptu problem solving. So if that's not what we want, I'm curious to see, because I've not actually tried this yet, what happens if we go to edit this form. So we cannot change this to remove the faces up here. So if we wanted to have this uncapped, we would have to go back and redo it. So let's go ahead and put this in uncapped, 6, 18, 2, and 12. Here's our plane. Here's our center point. You can also make it symmetric. That should be 2. That should be 6. There we go. You can also have this direction be symmetric if that needs to be part of your design. And now you've got in effect, a surface that we can modify. So here again, we can add symmetric constraints between our faces, and then we can do the same thing between the corresponding faces over here if we have a part that needs symmetry, and then we can grab this face here, we can drag, we can do whatever we want to it. We can add any of our directions. So we could add that, let's say, and then hit finish, and then we're left with a surface that we can then thicken, and that's a solid, right? So a lot of different things we can do with cylinders. That's just a brief overview. So go ahead and again play with this, and do some hands-on learning with experience, reminding you that you can undo and save frequently. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.